So I kind of started as a graphic designer and creative director. So my background's in fashion and e-commerce, all the way back in Australia. So that's kind of when I accidentally started having an Instagram following. All the kind of customers of those stores would start following me. And that's kind of when I realized, okay, people other than my friends and family are following me, this is weird. And then it was when I moved to London 3 years ago and started sharing my travels. Is that when I started, noticing that influencer marketing was even a thing and I could earn money from it. And yeah, that's kind of my journey so far. Currently, I work for myself full time and it's a mix of graphic design, freelance work and Instagram campaigns. Definitely the Be Who Gin one because it's gin, it's pretty obvious. Hello, I love gin. So that was a really fun one to work on. It was 3 different posts. I think with alcohol campaigns, it's also important. I used to work in an alcohol shop back in Australia, but I think it's really important to also promote the responsible of, drinking alcohol and things like that. So showing that with food and stuff. So I did a mix of lifestyle shots and flat lays of food and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a really fun one to work with. I think you guys are very professional and you're also very respectful of, my individual style, so you don't really try to change me, which I really respect because I think in a way influencer marketing is really unique in that way. It's not kind of, you're not hiring a photographer to shoot in a certain style, you're kind of listening to what an influencer wants to do. And I just remember it was really easy and you guys were always really helpful if I needed props and stuff like that to use in my campaigns. Reliable, inspiring and professional. I find what's surprising in my audience, or more so interesting, is that depending on where I travel, or if I make a certain piece of content that goes a bit viral, then I will suddenly gain a lot of followers from that country. So Istanbul is one of my top 3 cities. It's because it was some image and some kind of bucket list thing I designed, and that went really viral in the country, and then Italy as well. So I think that's been interesting seeing where I travel to and then getting followers from that country. But in general, I find people, because I do post very varied stuff, they more so follow for the aesthetic rather than the actual type of content, because I could be posting food, fashion, travel, beauty, etc. Yeah. I think it's funny because I think if you look from my kind of feed journey and the way it's changed in styles, when I first started it was kind of like how it is now, very colourful and busy and a lot of my travels. And then when I started taking it more seriously is when it became really boring. And I remember I used to shoot everything on plain white walls and it was very restrictive. So then I changed back in recent years back to the colourful, busy style, yeah. It was okay because the feed was very consistent and attractive in that way. It was just restricted in terms of what I could do. So, I couldn't God forbid shoot against a black ball or different in a forest or something like that. So it was limiting in terms of the content I made. And then when I started doing travel, which obviously it's always going to be busy looking, that's when I grew really fast. Help people live their best life. Whether they get, again, it's what they want to eat or what they want to wear, that's definitely kind of the inspiration behind everything. I think it's great. I just think there's a lot of confusion about it, and I'll see a lot of influencers saying ad when it's really gifted and things like that, but I think it's really important to communicate to our followers what's been paid for. They certainly don't do it in Australia, and now I think, oh, okay, they should really put that there. So I think it's a really great movement. I think some people take it too literal though, because they'll say, bought this skirt with a voucher from Topshop, previously worked for, they just kind of put too much jargon in it. But I think just very simply specifying it at the start of the caption is a really good step forward for the industry, yeah. Just be authentically you and never give up, never feel like it's too late to start. Everyone has something to say, so as long as you say it in your own voice, I think people will come and they'll stay and follow you. Yeah, that's kind of the main bit of advice. Just feeling good about the content you put out. Financially, that's a different story. Obviously, being able to support yourself full time, but I think success as a fulfilling career is putting out images that you're consistently proud of is really satisfying, and being able to generally help others. I always think that if you're an influencer, you should either be educating, entertaining, or enriching the lives of others in some way. Literally throw my phone across the room and put it in a drawer because I have no self-control, so that's how I have to switch off. And yeah, usually I just go into a Netflix hibernation mode.